All right, folks, let's get real for a second. We're talking about the muscle imperative. Most people think muscles are just for gym rats or looking good at the beach, but honestly, it's your body's ultimate life insurance. Check out figure 1 on the screen. On the left, you've got healthy myofibers, dense, strong, and ready to move. But on the right, that's myosteatosis. Basically, it's when your muscle starts looking like a marbled ribeye steak because fat is moving in where the strength should be. We're moving from sarcopenic obesity, which is just a fancy way of saying you're losing muscle and gaining fat, to what we call anabolic resilience. This 20-minute clinical review is going to cut through the hype and show you the non-negotiable cure for staying strong as you age. Your muscles aren't just for locomotion, they're actually your body's endocrine engine. Think of your muscle as a massive metabolic sink. It handles the vast majority of your insulin-mediated glucose uptake. Basically, it's where your body dumps sugar to keep your blood levels stable. If you lose that mass, your insulin sensitivity goes down the drain, and you're on a fast track to insulin resistance. Here's the kicker. As we age, we hit anabolic resistance. Your muscles become less sensitive to protein and exercise stimuli. Keeping your muscle isn't about vanity. It's your primary defense against metabolic syndrome and becoming frail. Let's look at the math of loss. Once you hit 40, you're losing about 0.8% of your muscle mass every single year. By the time you're 60, that rate pulls a hold my beer and accelerates to 15% loss per decade. That is massive. We diagnose this using the EWGSOP2 criteria. It starts with probable loss, which is just low strength. Then it's confirmed, when the quality and quantity of the muscle go south. If your physical performance drops, we're talking severe sarcopenia. The end result? Falls, hospital visits, and losing your independence. The stats on the chart show that dual impairment, losing both strength and mass, is a total game changer for your health. This is what we call the double burden. It's a nasty cycle. It starts with visceral fat accumulation. That's the dangerous fat around your organs. That fat starts pumping out pro-inflammatory cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha. This leads to chronic inflammation, which causes mitochondrial dysfunction. Your power plants in the cells stop working right, leading to lipid infiltration or myosteatosis into the muscle. This creates an anabolic blockade, making it even harder for your body to build muscle, which leads to more muscle catabolism and insulin resistance. It's a downward spiral that we need to break pronto. All right, let's talk food. There's a synthesis threshold you need to hit to actually build muscle. For young adults, they can get away with just 0.24 grams of protein per kilogram per meal. But for older adults, you need to bump that up to 0.40 grams per kilogram just to get a signal. Why? Because aging muscles become deaf to amino acid signals. Think of it like a radio. As you get older, the static gets louder. So you need a louder signal, a higher dose of protein, to activate the mTOR pathway and get that muscle protein synthesis moving. If you aren't hitting that threshold, you're basically just spinning your wheels. Meet leucine, the MVP of amino acids. Think of leucine as the master switch. It signals directly to mTORC1, which is the big boss that tells your body to start protein synthesis and ribosome biogenesis. To stop muscle loss, you need about 3 grams of leucine daily. Now, for a quick bias report, leucine is great at preserving mass, but it usually fails to improve actual functional strength if you aren't also hitting the weights. It's a trigger, but you still need to do the work. Next up is vitamin D, the nuclear regulator. It binds to VDR, vitamin D receptors, in your muscle to help manage calcium transport, which is how your muscles actually contract. But heads up, VDR expression drops as we get older. The target dose is 700 to 1,000 IU a day to keep your levels above 30 nanomoles per liter. Here's the straight talk. If your levels are already normal, supplementing probably won't do much for you. But if you're deficient or over 65 and frail, this is a total no-brainer to help prevent falls. Think of HMB as your anti-catabolic shield. Its full name is beta-hydroxy-beta methylbutyrate, and its main job is to stop muscle breakdown, proteolysis. It inhibits the ubiquitin proteasome pathway. Basically, it stops the scissors from cutting up your muscle fibers. The dose is 3 grams a day. The real talk here? It's a brake on loss, not an accelerator for performance. It helps you keep what you have, but it won't magically make you stronger or more functional on its own. Creatine is the energy currency of the cell. It replenishes your ATP stores, so you can push through high-intensity efforts. We're looking at a maintenance dose of 3 to 5 grams a day. But here's the reality check. If you're just sitting on the couch, creatine has negligible benefits for your independence. It amplifies your training. It doesn't replace it. It gives you the battery power to work harder. But you still have to put in the reps. Time for a truth bomb. The supplement trap. Look at the SUCRA scores on the chart. Nutrition alone? It has less than a 10% impact and shows non-significant functional improvement. Exercise alone is way better, hitting about 84% effectiveness for strength. But when you combine exercise and nutrition, you hit a massive approximately 94% effectiveness for gait speed and function. Supplements provide the bricks, but they don't build the house. Without that mechanical stimulus, exercise, your nutritional interventions are basically going to fail. We can't forget the gut-muscle axis. If your gut is a mess, your muscles will be too. An aging gut often suffers from dysbiosis and inflammation. This systemic inflammation leads to malabsorption and feeds right back into that anabolic resistance we talked about. Basically, you need a healthy microbiome to actually use the supplements you're taking. If your internal pipes are leaky or inflamed, you're just wasting your money on powders and pills. Exercise isn't a nice to have. It is the non-negotiable cure. Resistance training, RT, is the first-line treatment. It improves muscle quality and strength where nutrition alone just can't cut it. The science is clear. Exercise sensitizes your muscles to protein, which is the only way to overcome that anabolic resistance. Relying on supplements without exercise is scientifically proven to give you diminishing returns. You've got to use the key to open the door to muscle growth. When we combine everything, we get the synergistic gold standard, where 1 + 1 = 3. Look at the pyramid. The base, the foundation, is resistance training, the stimulus. On top of that, you have a high-protein and leucine diet, which is your fuel. And at the very top, for optimization, you have your supplements like creatine, vitamin D, and HMB. The MTONS protocol shows that this combined intervention kills inflammation and boosts mass way better than doing any of these things in isolation. All right, here's your actual RX. For the sweat, exercise, aim for 2 to 3 days a week. Keep the intensity at 60 to 80% of your 1-rep max, moderate to high effort. Do 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps for every major muscle group. For the fuel, nutrition, you want 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal with at least 3 grams of leucine. Add 3 to 5 grams of creatine daily and vitamin D if you're low. And remember, without the sweat, the powder is useless. To wrap this up, you cannot supplement your way out of a sedentary life. Period. The biology is crystal clear. If you want to live long and stay independent, you have to feed the muscle, but first, you've got to work the muscle. Let's get to it.